Have you ever heard the term Mezuzah? In Hebrew, Mezuzah declares that people who dwell here live Jewish lives. It is like a metallic cylindrical container or square in shape or round in shape. Inside you have a parchment or a leather scroll according to the cost, printed with some Jewish scriptures and affixed to the wall of the main entrance gate. And this indicates the people who are living or the Jewish traditional Orthodox people following Jewish traditions and Jewish customs. So this is as per Deuteronomy 11 chapter 20th verse and Deuteronomy 6 chapter 9th verse. If you see Deuteronomy 11:18 and 11:6, both the scriptures, 11 in Deuteronomy 11:20, it reads like this: "And you shall write them on the doorpost of your house and on your gates." Again, Deuteronomy 6:9, "You shall write them on the doorpost of your house and on your gates." The picture what you are seeing now is the descendants of Joseph. That's what they claim to be, and they are in the remote state of or a border state of Manipur of northeast part of India. These four children, are direct descendants of Joseph through Manasseh. So they are called as Beni Manasseh tribes. Beni means children. So children of Manasseh and one of the lost tribes of Israel, and you can find them in the foremost frontier state of India, Manipur and Mizoram. This is the image. Four children are there, and you see they are wearing a kippah or a cap, skull cap in the head, indicating they are Israelite. This is the synagogue in Manipur, in a place called Chura Chandpur, and they are all in the synagogue. It will be as per a Jewish ritual worship. This one is tabernacle because it was visited. The synagogue was visited during the time of festival season, during the time of festival of tabernacles or festival of booths otherwise. This is as per Deuteronomy 16:13. You are to celebrate the Feast of Tabernacles for 7 days after you have gathered the produce of your threshing floor and your winepress. To my left, you see one booth or one tent is getting ready in one of the Jewish homes or one of the Israelite homes or one of the tribes of Manasseh home, and towards the right is the tabernacle or a booth erected in the synagogue itself. One more tabernacle, one more booth, which is in the homes of the Israelites who are in Manipur and Mizoram, and they have a history of more than 300 to 400 years approximately. And this is as per Leviticus 23:34. So say to the Israelites, on the 15th day of 7th month, the Lord's festival of tabernacle begins, and it lasts for 7 days. So in the Bible you have heard the festival of tabernacles. We Christians will be well aware of. This is a practical tabernacle erected in northeast part of India by a group so-called Beni Manasseh tribes, and they claim the descendant up to the lineage of Joseph through Manasseh. They are called as children of Manasseh. Okay. So, as a normal person visiting those areas, even as a tourist, accidentally you can come across. Normally they don't like to talk to people or invite any outsiders. That is usual. They are very restricted people. How are we to know they are having Jewish roots or they are following Israeli tradition, whether it is true or false? At just an outset, at a glance, I'm telling. If you see the doorpost, one metallic object is fixed there. We have two images, two metallic objects are fixed. This is called as mezuzah. This is accordance to Deuteronomy 11:20. And you shall write them on the doorpost of your house and on your gates. In every Israelite home, every Jewish home, you will see this one. If you go to the doorpost, if you enter the first gate you enter, it will be there. It indicates they are having Hebrew roots with them. Now, again, in Deuteronomy 6:9, you have the same thing repeated. You shall write them on the doorpost of your house and on your gates. So, to the left, you can see a clear-cut mezuzah fixed on the doorpost, which is the entrance of a Jewish house. And to my right, you can see a typical Jewish home or Israelite home or a tribe of Manasseh's home with the mezuzah fixed on the doorpost, and you see a Star of David hanging in the top, and you see somebody in the house. This is a typical Israelite home in the state of Manipur, in the capital city of Imphal. So, and again, we know that when the Exodus started, the 10th, Pharaoh didn't allow them at the beginning. During the 10th plague, everybody's firstborn son was killed by the angel of death. So, but the Israelites there, or instead of saying Israelite, the Hebrews, we can say it's Hebrew, they are called as Hebrews before Moses, the time of Moses. The angel, they were instructed that you have to kill a Passover lamb and paint or coat the blood in the doorpost, so that when the angel of death passes, wherever the blood is coated, it will not enter the house. Exodus 12:22. Take a bunch of hyssop, dip into the blood in the basin and put some of the blood on the top and on both sides of the door frame. No one of you shall go out of the door of your house until morning. Again, Deuteronomy 6:9, you see the same words. You shall write them on the doorpost of your house and on your gates. This one is a news flashed in Israeli newspaper, Israel News 365. Former chief rabbi of Israel hints at the location of the Messiah. The newly appointed Minister of Communication, Likud member David Amasalem, with the Sephardic chief rabbi of Jerusalem, Sholom Amar, during a ceremony of installing a mezuzah at the Communications Ministry in Jerusalem on 10th July 2019. You see, he is the leading rabbi, Sephardic rabbi. Sephardic means the Jews from Spain, from Iberian Peninsula. And he is fixing this one in the high-profile offices, that means the government offices, where a newly communication minister is appointed, and is fixing mezuzah there in the doorpost. This image, what you are seeing here is to your right, it is former Prime Minister Yair Lapid fixing along with the rabbi, fixing the mezuzah, the doorpost, at an embassy opened in Abu Dhabi. Israeli Foreign Minister Lapid places a new mezuzah at the Israeli embassy in Abu Dhabi. So, all the government offices, all the Jewish institutions, wherever they are in any part of the world, How to identify them is, they will, if you check the doorpost, you will have a mezuzah mainly at the main entrance of the door, because it is there, they need to follow the commandment. That is the thing. This one, already we have covered this one in episode 2 as well. This is Benjamin Netanyahu with the Lubavitcher and Rabbi Menahem Mendel's son. What he said, Rabbi Menahem, to Benjamin Netanyahu when he was an ambassador to UN, he will hand over his keys to the Messiah. Benjamin Netanyahu will remain in office till Messiah arrives, and he will be the one who will hand over the keys to Messiah. So this is purely a Jewish version. Jewish rabbis are predicting that Benjamin Netanyahu is the last rabbi. It is not a Christian version. But still, for information, we have to follow this. Would the Messiah come as a political leader? See, Benjamin Netanyahu, how much he struggled to regain his prime ministership once again. Those who follow Israeli news, Middle East news, they will understand. Or, for that matter, any political person, how much he is struggling in a democratic country to gain his membership or seat or position or come to power. So now, the situation is suddenly going to change. Suddenly a person called Messiah, so-called Messiah comes. Prime Minister will have to leave the office and get out. And will become a normal person. This is what it means. How this will be enacted or enforced, or how people will accept it. These are the various types of mezuzah according to the ethnicity, we can tell, of the Jewish groups living in various parts of the country. The first one is Ashkenazi Jew. Ashkenazi Jew means it is Europe, starting from France, Germany, Poland, these Baltic states and Russia. They will have a mezuzah like this, first one, to my left. Second one, Sephardic mezuzah means from the Iberian Peninsula, Spain, Portugal, Morocco and so on. Third one is, to my extreme right, Samaritan mezuzah. Samaritans are there who also claim they are half Jewish people, and it is that their mezuzah will be like this. So mezuzah is common for Jewish people or Israelites all over the world. Like tefillin, it's common. Like circumcision, it's common. Why Jews hang mezuzah on the doorpost? Mezuzah declares the people who dwell here live Jewish lives inside that house. Where and when to hang the mezuzah. So the mezuzah is something like housewarming ceremony for them. Once you build a new house, you make a housewarming ceremony. You call the priest for prayer, or you call the church elders. So like this, in Israel, whether you rent a building or you make a new house, or in the Jewish life, they will fix this mezuzah, the doorpost. Origins of mezuzah. This is a proper cutting only. Mezuzah is of biblical origin, therefore carries great weight, and you shall inscribe them on the doorpost of your house and on your gates, as per Deuteronomy 6, 9 and 11, 20. What is to be inscribed? Divine instruction is very clear. The words that I tell you this day, that you shall love your God, believe only in Him, keep His commandments, and pass all of this to your children. Thus, mezuzah has come to refer also a parchment or a calf, on which the verses of Torah are inscribed. Deuteronomy 6, 4 to 9, 11, again 13 to 21. Mezuzah refers as well to the case or a container in which the parchment is enclosed. A mezuzah serves two functions. Every time you enter or leave, the mezuzah reminds you that you have a covenant with God. Second, mezuzah serves as a symbol to everyone else that this particular dwelling is constituted as a Jewish household operating by a special set of rules, rituals and beliefs. Before describing the act of act of affixing a mezuzah, let us examine some of the attendant laws. So, these Israelite men who claimed to be the descendant of the tribe of Manasseh, who were seen in the northernmost frontier part of the state Manipur and Mizoram, separated from the land for last 2,700 years back, captured and as prisoners and displaced from the Holy Land, and then they were placed in the river called Gozon, somewhere in Afghanistan and Uzbekistan. Later on, the people migrated, one group migrated, this tribe migrated via Silk Route to China, and from China to Myanmar, and settled in India, the formermost Manipur, and this is the history. Inside the container, if you open, you see verses written in Hebrew, and it could be rolled, and it will go into the container, and once in 7 years, twice they open, and they check the status of this cloth, whether the letters are visible or legible. If not, they will replace it. They will replace it. So, this mezuzah means only this much. As per Deuteronomy 6, 9, 11, 20, finally, you see here, when the government offices, new offices or new government takes place, again they will conduct this ceremony. The top Rabbi, chief Rabbi comes and fix this one, and finally they will tell the minister or the prime minister, this is mezuzah, you have to follow the Kaya. You are a Jewish man, you are an Israelite by origin, you have to be obedient to the commandments, rituals, beliefs, tradition, and so on. So your seat is up to what? Once the Messiah arrives, you have to vacate this seat and come out. So Messiah, who will declare the Messiah? These rabbis only will declare the Messiah. So once these rabbis declare, or if they say that we already the Messiah is revealed to the world, and so will be the Israeli Messiah, everybody from Prime Minister to down below, they will surrender to him. This is what the Mezuzah means. So now you understand how the situation or how the world is pulling towards the end. It is now the stage is well set to receive the so-called Antichrist under the banner of 666. That is what the Christians call. So now the time is more right. Now it's only a very short time is being left. Jews are expecting the Messiah. Later on they will understand he is the false Messiah. But initially they will say, this is the most wisest man. This is the good political leader. He has solved and he has brought peace and he has won many battles for us. And he has allowed the temple to function or temple to construct. Sacrifices are going on. So on and so forth. So this is the indirect meaning of Mezuzah. Mezuzah means once the Messiah comes, wherever Jewish people are, then they have to be obedient to this Messiah. So, my dear brothers and sisters, this is how the end time scenario will be there. And now we brought you few glimpses what I have collected. So, for sure, we can say the end time is near. So, if you see the events like this, according to Luke 21st chapter, you have to lift up your heads and to say your redemption draws up near. So, if you like this podcast, you give a like button and you subscribe, and please kindly do, if you have your friends, please share it till the next podcast. So we'll be signing off from you, and this will be, and once again, we will see you with a new clip. Thank you very much.